Hi, my name's Toby Schmitz and I am the writer and director of Capture the Flag. Welcome to our production diaries. I thought I'd kick off by just saying how the play first came into fruition. My dad used to teach the Second World War and specifically German history at a high school level, and so my house was always full of a lot of literature about this period. And as maybe a lot of young boys, I was sort of interested in the Second World War. My grandfathers had served. And very quickly as a kid, I became quite fascinated by the concept of the Hitler Youth, how the Nazis managed to rope so many children into their dark plans. I was quite interested in the pictures of them because I was that same age. I always wondered if such things could happen to me. At the same time, as a kid, I was reading things like Lord of the Flies, and there was an emphasis on this period in my school history units. And so I became quite interested in it. And one day my father, knowing that I was interested in the period, told me a story, maybe apocryphal, definitely seminal, about the Hitler Youth boy who was so disciplined and so into it that he dobbed his own parents in to the secret police for selling ration tickets or trading on the black market or listening to the BBC on the radio, or whatever the crime was. And I remember thinking as a child, what an incredibly powerful story, bleak, dark, horrendous, but also charged and electric. The whole concept that you can manipulate children so much that they, for your own ends as an adult, that they can become so powerful that they can actually turn on the adults and have them imprisoned, tortured, sent to camps. And that stuck with me all through my youth and my teen years, the power of this particular story. And then 6 years ago, I wrote a 10-minute version of the play that is now a full-length play. And it's essentially about three boys from the Hitler Youth who are hiding in a drain in Berlin at the very end of the war, and whether the war is over or not, they're not quite sure, but they've got to decide what they're going to do. And these are young boys who've been trained to, die for the fatherland, and now the option is upon them that maybe they don't have to die. The Russians are occupying the city above, and they're facing a real dilemma. And so there, in a nutshell, is the very first kernel of an idea that sparked this play, Capture the Flag.